Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video, and today we're going to be making a video on the Rage tournament. So, we are currently in a global tournament. It started about a day and a half ago, January 15th, and so it's not going to be a normal global tournament. They did start doing one special mode every month in addition to the normal global tournaments, and so as you can see, the game mode is going to be Rage Battle. So it says here, the whole arena is affected by Rage Spell, choose your deck wisely, and essentially in this mode, everything is going to be raged up, so your king tower, your princess tower, anything that you play in terms of troops. So chances are in this mode, if you name something, it is going to be raged and probably pretty angry. So I did make a global tournament video about 2 weeks ago on the Double Elixir global tournament, which was from last season, and I did that with about less than a day left in the tournament. And in the past, I have gotten some comments from you guys asking why I'm uploading videos so late on the global tournament instead of while they're happening. Usually I uploaded them when they're over, and I think it is fair. If you want to learn about a deck or know the best strategy for the game mode, you would want to see someone play it before you attempt it yourself, and I think that is fair. So today, I am making the video with, as you can see, 3 days and 16 hours left in the tournament, plenty of time. And I am going to be using 3.0 Xbow Cycle. I am actually 10-1 in the global tournament, so I did lose once. More on that later, but I am using Xbow. And so something interesting about Xbow, actually. I was talking to one of my friends, Endirian, and he said that buildings in Rage mode get a lot of value, and I was a bit interested in why he said this, but as he explained, it made sense, because everything is raged up, so the value while the building is active is going to be increased, but the lifetime or decay of the building is not going to go down, since it stays the same. So the lifetime of the building isn't going to be raged up in terms of the rate it goes down. Xbow is still going to survive for a full 30 seconds, and it is going to get more value in those 30 seconds, so that made sense to me. Ender actually did a calculation as well, which is that Xbow shoots exactly 100 shots in 30 seconds, but if you rage it up, it has a faster hit speed, and it does an extra 35 shots for a total of 135, so that is pretty insane, and we don't even need to get into the details of it. It just makes a lot of sense, and it would be why Xbow feels pretty good in this tournament, at least to me. And I do love 3.0 Xbow anyway, so I would have played it regardless if it was good or not, but we are currently 10-1, and so the reason for my loss, actually, I do want to go over it, since a lot of people do also ask about losses and mistakes, and I lost at 7 wins, I believe, to LumberLoon Freeze, and so I am actually going to, at the end of the games, I'm going to be playing some live games today, but at the end of the games, I'm also going to go into this replay, and explain how I lost and how you can avoid losing in the way I did. So stick around if you want to check that out. But we are going to be playing live games in the global tournament. So at 10 wins right now, using 3.0 Xbow, using Electro Spirit again, because there are a lot of swarmy kind of cards in this meta, and I think it's just overall a bit better. And we are not going to be using Xbow Archer Queen, although I think it is also very viable. I would rather just stay true to a 3.0 Xbow Cycle. So, let's get into things. We're going to be playing some games. Hopefully we can get 15 wins and not lose anymore, get all the rewards, and have some nice games. So, without further ado, let's get right into the matches, and I will start my queuing. So we found our first match against, I believe, a Korean player. And so, as you can see, it is actually 1.3 times Elixir instead of 1. So even Elixir is raged up in this mode. He's going to go for a Furnace, so this means that it could be double spawners, actually. And if it is, it might have Earthquake, since they have actually started using that. He's going to go for a Golden Knight. I'm going to go for a Tesla. Don't really want to go for a Knight, since it would probably give his Golden Knight an opportunity to dash onto my tower. He's going to go for a Flying Machine as well, so I'm going to wait for the Golden Knight to stop its dash, and then go for my Knight and Archers to take out the Flying Machine, so it is definitely looking like some kind of spawner deck. I'm going to go for an Electro Spirit. I don't really want to Xbow just as yet, since he might have a Mega Knight or Cannon Cart or some kind of really big counter to the X. I'm going to Fireball again and log back these Spears. And so it is going to be a spawner matchup, but we don't know what his spell is yet. He has arrows, which is bad, obviously, since arrows take out my archers. Not what we want to see. But he might not. He might actually have recruits, to be honest, and that would be pretty annoying. But I think I would be able to manage it if he does have recruits. But we'll see. Plays a Flying Machine, and Tesla's actually working on it. It does take it out, thankfully. I didn't really want to Fireball, since I think I would rather Fireball the huts. And I'm going to log now. Unfortunately, Furnace, one more Spirit, is staying alive. So there it is. I'm going to Fireball this hut again. And so double spawners, overall game plan, I think just going to try and be getting a lot of damage from spells. As you can see, I'm not going for any Xbows so far, and it's working out really well. and I think I'm going to keep up that game plan. It looks like we are down Elixir, actually, so I'm going to Tesla, and we do have to play passively. There's no way I'm going to go in. I'm actually quite sure that he has Recruit, since I've seen this deck before. And he's going to give me quite a bit of Fireball value, actually, on the Furnace and the 2 Zappies. Definitely going to take that. So make sure to take good value when you see it. And let's see, he does go for Recruits now. So we are on double Elixir. As you can see, it's 2.7 times the speed, which is interesting. He's going to Fireball. I'm going to go Knight here and log on this side of Recruits. And he's going to go for a Flying Machine. I am back to a Fireball. Just going to Fireball it, not mess around. And go for Archers. And Knight definitely away from my Archers. I do not want that Golden Knight anywhere near my tower. And that is something that you really have to take note of against Golden Knight, to be honest. So Archers helping against the Goblin Hut. And I think I'm actually going to log the hut instead of the tower, since it is just getting a lot of value, and I do want to take it out. And I honestly should have fireballed that Furnace earlier. I wasn't really reacting fast enough in time. But I'm going to fireball the Goblin Hut now. Go Knight, try and cycle back to a log for these Sphere Goblins and all the Recruits. I'm going to go for Archers on the Flying Machine as well. So Golden Knight is still alive. Archers take it out though, and I'm actually in the damage lead, so resetting with a lot of Teslas here, as you can see. I think it's really important. Gonna Fireball, and gonna Defensive Expo again. I will explain my placements later on. For now, I think I kind of want to focus on playing well, but I'll try and explain things about the matchup itself later too. It is a bit hectic since it's Rage mode, but he's gonna Fireball. I believe he actually just Fireballed nothing, so interesting Fireball my opponent. I guess he's desperate for damage, but I'm still gonna be more than happy to just out-damage him. Cycling a log, and cycling a Tesla. And we are actually getting his tower down pretty low, so I'm going to use my cycle cards to get back to a Fireball, and I don't think I can hit both of the spawner buildings, but that's a lot of value. That's a ton of log value as well, actually. My opponent does have arrows, I actually forgot about it. But I'm going to Fireball the Flying Machine here, and Knight. Unfortunately, the Golden Knight is on my tower. Going to log it back. That was actually pretty bad, to be honest, but no need to panic. Just reset and don't take any more damage. So reset with a Tesla. Here are his Recruits again. My cycle's actually a bit messed up, so I'm going to have to get back to a log here. And really nice Fireball value on everything. Golden Knight is here. Going to go for Archers. Golden Knight does get taken out, thankfully. Going to go for log. He gets a really nice set of arrows, actually. Gonna get back to my log. Actually, I think I'm gonna try and cycle 2 Fireballs here. Might be pretty dangerous since there's a lot on the field, but I am gonna be able to do it. Thankfully, that got really stressful at the end, but it is 4 times Elixir, as you can see. The flow is just insane. But we were able to win against Recruits, and so I don't know. I feel like it's pretty stressful sometimes trying to commentate properly while also playing in the Rage mode, but I'm going to try my best for you guys. But this was, I would say, probably not the best matchup, actually, since he does have arrows as well. But I didn't go for a single offensive expo, actually, and I think that was for the best. And so spawners are actually going to be really good in this matchup as well. Sorry, in this format as well, since, as I was just saying about buildings getting more value, it does apply directly to spawners. So be careful of spawners. They're going to be pretty common. Actually, there's a version coming around with Mega Knight, Cannon Cart, Fireball, Earthquake double spawners, and that, I believe I actually won against that as well. Over here, yeah, I did. So, Poison, Earthquake. So, yeah, a lot of spawner decks. Be careful of those. Play really defensively, I would say, and all my damage was from spell value on his spawners and on his tower. So I think that's important. But really nice win against a pretty scary deck. But let's keep going. Those kind of decks are going to be pretty common. So against another player here, don't want to mispronounce the name, so Cycle Electro Spirit at the bridge, and Cycle Skeletons. Looks like he's going to go for a Ram Rider. My Cycle's a bit sad, unfortunately. I don't have Tesla, so I'm going to go for an Expo to pull it, and he goes for a Cannon Cart. So Ram Rider, Cannon Cart, not looking fantastic. Golden Knight as well. Going to go for a Knight, and then Fireball everything. Hopefully the Cannon Cart gets taken out. No, it doesn't. Actually, it does by the Knight, so I went for Electro Spirit since I thought the Cannon Cart was still alive. Gonna go for Skeletons against the Bandit here, and that is actually the perfect placement to counter Skeletons. If you guys didn't know, as you can see, didn't dash onto my tower, and both towers targeted it as well. So even if he zaps, it's gonna walk to your tower, not dash. In that placement, he's gonna have some kind of Bridgespam deck. Not sure if it's gonna be like P.E.K.K.A, Ram Rider, or just Golden Knight Bridgespam. There's the Magic Archer. Gonna go for Electro Spirit to hopefully reset, and the Ram Rider is charging so much that it didn't even reset the charge. Electro Spirit actually got taken out. He's gonna go for Cannon Cart now, so I'm gonna have to cycle back to something to DPS it down. It's gonna be Archers. Magic Archer did actually get some damage on my tower, which is unfortunate, but not the worst. And I don't know what his spell is gonna be here, actually. Gonna go for a Tesla, and then Electro Spirit to pull the Bandit in, so it doesn't dash onto my Tesla. And Cycle is a bit awkward here. Don't want to Fireball that Electro Wizard, since he's probably gonna go for a Ram Rider push. He does not, so I'm just going to log it back. But if I Fireball and he went for a Ram Rider, it might have been bad. So I'm going to go for a Defensive Expo now. Not a Knight, since a Knight would get charged into by the Gold Knight. Going to have to Fireball this Ram Rider, unfortunately. But it shouldn't be a big deal, since Defensive Expo helps out. Going to go for a Knight for the Golden Knight. And it does get taken out too. So, looks like that my opponent might not actually have an answer to my Defensive Expo. And if that's the case, that's going to be really great, since I will really need it in this kind of heavy Bridgespam matchup. So we're going to go for Skeletons again to take the Bandit's pull. And he goes for a Magic Archer. Going to go for a Tesla and then an Expo. Since he did just use his Cannon Cart, I believe he's not back to it. So he goes for Golden Knight now. Ewiz as well. Going to log everything back. And that Expo is on tower. Going to catch the Barb Barrel with Skeletons. I always say this, but always make sure you're able to catch Barb Barrels. And if you're not, then really practice it. Looks like he does have a Fireball, actually. But he just lost his tower, so very unfortunate for my opponent here. Not sure why he didn't Fireball the first Expo. I guess he wanted to build a push, but it got so much value, my Defensive Expos, and looks like he actually gave up. So let's try and take his other tower here. Not sure if I'm going to be able to, but I would like to, since crowns matter a lot in global tournaments, if you guys didn't know. So we're going to take the tower, really nice. Maybe I could have 3-crowned if I just started rushing instantly, but didn't know if he was going to give up. But the reason crowns matter in global tournaments is because the tiebreaker of the top leaderboard is by crowns. So I'll show you guys an example right now. You can see here that number 2 is actually Fang Fang, a really good Eagle player that I look up to, but he's at 33 wins. This person, Rosen CR, is also at 33 wins, but Fang Fang is above. And the reason is because actually I have to choose this lightning chest and open it up. So I'll just do that really quickly before I finish my explanation. Don't really mind too much about the cards, I guess. So you can see here that Fang Fang has 89 crowns, which is insane. I mean, he's playing Elixir Golem, so it makes sense that he'd be getting a lot of 3 crowns. This is his signature deck. I wouldn't be surprised if he used it, but he's really good with the deck. So it's not just Eagle being no skill. But anyway, he's at 33 and 89. This person's at 33 and 73 crowns. So Fang Fang has 16 more crowns, which puts him above. So crowns really matter in this global tournament format, in pretty much all of them. And so that's why it's important to get crowns if you can. So I'm pretty happy I got 2 crowns there, but that's going to be 12 wins. So really nice again. Nice win against Bridgespam. Let's keep it going. Into the next match against Yeesus X. Gonna cycle Electro Spirit at the bridge and see what he's going to go for. And he's going to go for a Hog. So I'm going to go log and then Fireball it back. A lot of people ask me what to do if they go Hog first play and you don't have Tesla in hand, and that is what I would say. I just did. He's going to go for a Gold Knight at the bridge, and Knight is going to be a +1 trade for me. So I'm going to go for an Expo now that I have a Knight, and I should be up Elixir as well. And he's going to have Gold Knight and Firecracker, so kind of unfortunate. And Earthquake, so this is looking like a really bad matchup, actually. Going to go Electro Spirit to try and activate King. Fortunately, my timing was off, and so it didn't work out. But if he goes for a Hog, I can go for a low Tesla, and it will still pull the Hog, since he did just use his Earthquake, and he won't have Earthquake for the Tesla. He's going to go for Golden Knight, though. Pretty smart to reset, I guess. This is looking like a really bad matchup, though. Hog Earthquake with both Golden Knight and Valkyrie. He's going to go for a Hog, so I'm going to go Tesla now, anti-Earthquake placement. He goes for a Golden Knight dash, and hopefully the Hog gets taken out. It does. Going to go for Expo in the opposite lane now, and go for Archers to predict his Valk. He goes for a Firecracker, and he goes for a Tesla, but looks like he actually misplaced it. Unfortunately, for me, it didn't matter. Gonna go for Electro Spirit to try and activate King. Please activate King. And it does. Okay, so that's awesome. Activated King in this matchup is huge. Gonna go for Tesla. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough Elixir in time for the Hog Rider. So actually, it would have been better to not play Tesla in that case, since it was going to hit my Expo anyway. The point of that Tesla was to try and make the Hog hit my Expo. But I'm going to go for an Expo now that I have the Tesla staying alive and surviving. And he's going to go for a Golden Knight. So let's see if he goes for the dash here. He does. I'm very thankful he went for the dash, since there's a glitch on the Golden Knight right now, if you guys didn't see. I mean, you probably did see, but basically, my Xbow retargeted from the Golden Knight to the tower, and I really love to see that. Honestly, I don't like the Golden Knight at all. I think it's really strong, but that is one of Xbow's only saving graces against the Golden Knight, the glitch. And I'm not saying it's good to rely on a glitch, but Golden Knight is so oppressive against Xbow that I feel like it's important that we have some kind of counterplay. Although they're obviously going to fix this glitch. So let's wait till he uses the dash. Okay, he's not going to use it, so unfortunately I'm going to have to go archers, and he'll probably dash onto my archers. He actually doesn't, which I find pretty interesting. He's going to go for a snowball, so I can go for an Xbow now, and I know that I don't need to, but this is actually going to be the better play in a lot of situations. And okay, looks like he's going to just let it take his tower. I guess that's fair. Not going to support it anymore, since he's going to have a hog. He's going to get Tesla my knight, which is really weird, honestly, since I don't know why he's scared of getting 3 crown right now. He should be worried about taking 1 tower instead of getting 3 crown, but looks like my opponent's priorities are not in the right place. I'm okay with that, actually. We're going to get a really nice win against what I would say is an extremely bad matchup, because he has Valkyrie and Golden Knight. So it's Hog, Earthquake. He has Electro Spirit, but he has Golden Knight instead of Skeletons, I'm pretty sure. Yep. And he does have Snowball instead of Log, which is good for us since Log is worse, gets more value. But still, really bad matchup because he has 2 mini tanks. He has the Golden Knight, which has a ton of HP, and the Valk, which also has a ton of HP. And he has Hog Earthquake and Firecracker, which I can't really kill. So, really happy I won that. I feel like it's a really bad matchup, but it is still winnable, especially in Rage mode, I guess, since my Xbow locked on, and when it did, it was devastating. So hopefully that helps you guys a bit on Hog Earthquake in the Rage tournament. But really nice win, putting me at 13 now. Don't know why I just checked my invites. Probably not joining though. But 13 wins. Let's try and get 2 more. And we're into the next match against CMG Kakashi, who looks to be in a Brazilian clan. So going to cycle Electro Spirit at the bridge. And he's going to go for a Furnace, so going to most likely be a spawner deck. I think I'm going to have to let this Fire Spirit go. And use Log on the next one, since it'll hit both waves. And he's going to have Zappies as well, so it could be the same Recruits deck, actually, that we just played against. We'll see what it is, though. He goes for a Goblin Hut now. I'm going to go for Skeletons. Try and cycle back to my Fireball. It is only 1 card away. There it is. Tesla takes out the... No, it does not. I was hoping it would take out the Flying Machine. Gonna Fireball this Goblin Hut. Tower takes out the Flying Machine, though. Gonna log all this back. Now, he might have Recruits, and if he does, this would be scary since I did just use my log, but he's going to go for Skeleton King, so I'm going to go for Defensive Expo now. He might Recruits in front of this, which would be probably a pretty good play given my cycle. He does not, though, and I appreciate that he didn't. Going to go for Skeletons, and unfortunately the Fire Spirit didn't jump onto my Skeletons. I really wanted it to, since I just took a bunch of damage for no reason, but he's going to go Zappies and give me Fireball value, so I'm going to take that for sure. He's going to go for a Goblin Hut now, and I think he's going to Fireball as well. Just going to go for a Tesla. Should take out that Fire Spirit just before it jumps. Thankfully it does. And it looks like the Tesla is actually too low to be taking these Spear Goblins, at least in Rage mode, so that's pretty unfortunate. Going to go for another Defensive Expo then, since I do need all the help I can get against these huts, and there are the infamous Recruits, so this is going to be a Skeleton King version, I guess. I'm going to go log on this side, actually, even though I want damage on the right, just because of the fact that my opponent does have a lot more coming on that lane, mostly from the Spear Goblins, but I also Fireballed the Flying Machine. Notice how I didn't just instinctively Fireball the Furnace, since I knew he was going to build a pretty big push, and I wanted to have Fireball and Cycle in case he went for something like Flying Machine, which he did. So now I'm going to go for Defensive Expo again, and Tesla's helping out against both of the spawner waves. He's going to go for Zappies like that, which I guess he's trying to bait me into using Log on them, which I'm not going to do. Going to go for Archers, though, since he just uses Fireball. He won't have a Fireball for both of my Archers. He's going to go for Recruits now. He's going to cycle back to my Knight. Fireball on the Flying Machine. I think I actually missed it. Okay, I missed it. Wow. Going to have to go Electro Spirit to hopefully retarget it. And I just took a ton of damage, which is kind of my fault. But it's okay. Going to go for a Knight to block the Spear Goblin and then go for a Tesla now. And we are down damage, but I think it's okay. Gonna go for Defensive Expo too. And he might go for Recruit's Push pretty soon. He does. Gonna go Log and go for Electro Spirit here. Try and Fireball. Unfortunately, Flying Machine is on my Tesla, but Defensive Expo is helping out a lot. Gonna go for Skeletons as well. I'm gonna have to log this actually because there's a Fire Spirit there, and I didn't want it to hit my tower. But we're getting pretty swarmed right now, so gonna Fireball the Furnace, and he's gonna go Recruits again. Gonna Defensive Expo. Gonna log on this side, I guess, even though there are more on the other side, because I do need tower damage, honestly. Gonna Tesla and hold Fireball for if he goes Flying Machine, which he probably will. He goes for Zappies instead. I'm still gonna Fireball, actually, to hit the Skeleton King too. And log on this side, since there's a lot of stuff coming down. And he goes for the Skeleton King ability just in time, but before it dies, but I feel like it didn't get that much value, so pretty good for us. This is getting pretty hectic though, so I'm trying to focus a little bit. That Spear Goblin in the left, Spear Goblin Hut in the left is about to die. It's gonna try and log as it dies, as it does. And Flying Machine gonna take the Fireball. Hopefully I hit this time. I did miss last time, and that was actually a pretty costly mistake, to be honest. So 4 times Elixir right now though. Defensive Expo. He's going for a really high Goblin Hut. Recruits as well. Fireballing the Hut plus the Zappies, definitely. And he's gonna go for a Flying Machine, so log here. Archers are gonna take out the Flying Machine, and he's gonna Fireball Tower, so I'm gonna Fireball his back. Cannot let him get away with that at all. I do need tower damage really badly. He's gonna go for a Snowball too, so his other spell's gonna be Snowball. So I'm gonna cycle back to my log and Fireball his tower. Don't need to Fireball the Flying Machine or Furnace. Gonna snipe the Flying Machine with Archers. Gonna get back to another log. Go for another Tesla. Fireball his tower again. Get back to another log and log his tower. Goes for a Flying Machine. Gonna go Knight to block Archers. Fireball again. Log again. And perfect. So I didn't really commentate that well at the end. I was honestly just trying to focus. So my commentary was more kind of stream of thought rather than trying to explain it in a way that was really understandable. But basically at the very end there, I was getting pretty worried about all the spam. So my game plan changed from fireballing the huts to just fireballing the tower and keeping up with damage. And so this matchup was actually pretty scary. Honestly, it wouldn't have been that bad if I didn't miss the fireball and the Flying Machine. I think I took like 500 damage from that. So lesson learned, do not miss your fireballs, guys. I did, and so I kind of paid the price, but I was still able to win, thankfully. Again, so this looks like a mini player, player's mini account, since a lot of people have been making new level 8 accounts just to play in the global tourney. But really happy with this win. Skeleton King is actually really strong, but thankfully Xbow has a lot of answers, since we do have the log, and again Electro Spirit, which would have helped out a lot against some Skeleton King swarms if you chose to go for them. So yeah, I feel like Ice Spirit would just get way less value against all these spawners. Electro Spirit is definitely the way to go in this global tournament. So really nice win though. 14-1, just one away from getting all the rewards. Let's try and go for it and wrap this video off with a really nice win. I did also not forget about the loss. I'm going to explain that later as well. But Cycle Electro Spirit at the bridge. And my opponent is not doing anything. I think I'm just going to Expo, to be honest. He might have like a Golem deck or something heavy. He's going to say oops and Cycle a Bandit late. Don't know what exactly that means. But look at the Raging Expo. Just look at it go. It is getting... And I don't know what he's doing, I'm going to be honest, because he's playing all his cards super late. I'm going to give him the wow because... What? But that's tower, I guess. Maybe he lagged out or he was like doing something in real life. Anyway, do not play the game with an unstable internet connection or while you're busy with other stuff in real life. Lesson learned, I guess. I'm going to go for an Expo since I don't think he has enough for a P.E.K.K.A right now. If he does, then, okay, I'm completely wrong. But he should be at a pretty similar amount of elixir to me. He's going to log this back as well. Now I'm going to have to let it die, since I did just commit a lot to it. And he might have something like a bandit or a ghost to pressure. He is a fan of giving me a lot of emotes. So I'll just say wow back, because why not? He's going to go for a ghost. I'm going to split archers. This is something you guys can do against ghost, by the way. You can split archers like that. And what they'll do is they won't get splashed together by the ghost. I might have missed this magic archer. I did. Okay. Gonna go skeletons. Okay, wow. The Bandit somehow went to the Knight just now. But yeah, I'm paying the price for missing that fireball, definitely. My mistake. I should really focus on playing properly instead of talking about random things. But still in a really comfortable position, to be honest. And I can just defensive Xbow. It's going to get so much value. I don't really want to do it now since he might P.E.K.K.A. I don't have Knight and Cycle. I would like Knight and Cycle. He's going to go for Poison. So now I can actually pretty safely go for defensive Xbow, considering my opponent just uses Poison, which is his main counter. He's going to go for a Battle Ram, but I'm just going to log it back, keep my Xbow alive. That is a Desperation Magic Archer if I've ever seen one, and it didn't do anything for my opponent. Going to go for a Tesla now, and Xbow now. Since I have a defensive Xbow surviving, helping out, log this back, and Xbow might die. Xbow does actually die, but it still gets chip as well. I'm going to go for a Tesla 2. Good game. He's been spamming good game the whole time, but still playing. I think that's bad for his mental state, because he's kind of accepting that he's lost, but he's still trying. So I feel like if you accept that a game's over, but you still play it, it's kind of contradictory. Like, if you're still playing, it would probably be because you don't want to give up, and you still want to try. So I don't know what he's doing. He missed his Battle Ram too, and he missed his Zap as well, actually. So my opponent's game plan is all over the place. No offense to him, but I don't know what that was. I'm just going to give him the Global Tournament emote, I guess. But that's going to be a really nice and much welcomed stress-free game for the 15th win. So we have unlocked all the rewards. We got the magical chest, 10,000 gold, this key that I think is actually pretty useless, to be honest, but we still got it. Common token. I might buy all the global tournament rewards, I'm not sure, because Legendary King's chests do give heroes, champions, basically guaranteed in them. So I feel like it's pretty worthwhile for 500 gems if you do have the gems to spend. And I do, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to use these gems to get a 100 Grand Challenge badge instead. So I don't know what I'll do. But really nice 15 wins. So I hope you guys enjoyed the games. I apologize if the commentary was kind of all over the place or kind of scattered. It is pretty late at night for me right now. I'm really tired from today. I did a lot of things today. Didn't really play the whole day, so first time playing. But yeah, that's why I feel like I wasn't really super focused, but was able to get a really nice set of games. Free Hog Riders, I'll take those. And I did mention that I was going to analyze my loss to show you guys what not to do, and hopefully the replay's still there. It is. So nice. Played against some really interesting players in this format, not gonna lie. But my friend challenged me to a friendly. But anyways, this is the match, and I lost at 7 wins, and I actually almost lost again at, I believe, 8 wins. Yeah, because it was 1 win away. So, gonna show you guys what not to do against LumberLoon. And it might, I'm not sure if it's a general thing, it might just be in this mode, but definitely don't do what I did. So, here we start out the match. Pretty calm, pretty normal start. Both players just peacefully playing a game of Clash Royale. Then he goes for Baby Dragon. I probably go for Skeletons here, yep. And Archers. Yep. And I probably cycle a Log next. He goes for Lumberjacks, I'm gonna go Knight for it. And I went for the Rascals emote. Log to chip as well. And he goes for a Bowler actually, so I'm gonna go for an Xbow right now. And so my reasoning is because Bowler is a huge counter to the Xbow in this matchup. The other counters are Inferno Dragon and Balloon. Everything else doesn't really count. I mean, Lumberjack can be easily countered. Baby Dragon does count, but it doesn't take it out much in time. And Bar Barrel is more of a support, like with the Lumberjack or with a Bowler. It's not really a counter by itself. So my opponent wasted one of the main counters to my deck. I felt comfortable enough going in here, and we're going to see why exactly that was a terrible idea. So I also noticed that I cycled a Log just now. So I was technically down 2 Elixir actually. And I think that might be a huge thing of why I lost here. But he goes Inferno Dragon, and I'm obviously not going to go for Skeletons to predict it, since, or to protect, since I can't overcommit. I need to defend this Bowler as well on the other side. So my fundamentals weren't completely out of the window here. I still knew that I had to defend this Bowler, so I didn't overcommit to this Xbow. But I feel like given the circumstances, this Xbow was bad. So, yep, I let the Inferno take my Xbow out. I go for Skeletons. And here he goes for a Balloon, and this Inferno is probably going to get taken out by the Skeleton. So that is a 1 for 3 trade. But if you look at that interaction objectively, I went for an Xbow and skeletons. He went for Inferno Dragon. That is technically a 7 for 4 trade, which is -3 for me. And so now he has a bowler balloon coming in, which is 10 elixir, and I'm at 6. So if I had 3 more elixir, I would be at 9. I would probably be able to Tesla and fireball this immediately. But since I was down elixir, also because of the fact that I cycled the log actually, so technically I was down 5 elixir. And actually that makes sense, because I'm at 6, he's at 1, and he has 10 on the field, so 11 versus 6. I'm literally down 5 elixir. So why in the world would I go for an Xbow when I'm down so much elixir? And the answer is I should not have. Pretty much that's the only thing I can say. But here I'm going to crash and burn, go for a Tesla, try and fireball this balloon as well, and I get absolutely destroyed because he goes for a freeze, as he should. I was hoping that the tower would help out enough to defend, but it did not, and that gets 2 hits, I believe. Yep, gets 2 hits. So I was down to, I give the Goblin Fine emote, I was down to 857 damage, and honestly in this matchup, you're probably not going to win when you're down so much. I mean, you can play pretty safely. I feel like after this loss, after this damage start, I probably played pretty badly as well, which is part of why I also did badly in the game and lost afterwards instead of trying to make a comeback. I was probably too aggressive with my Xbows trying to make up for this damage loss. We'll see, I guess. But yeah, I feel like if I didn't cycle that log, I would have been fine, because if you went for a bowler, I went for an Xbow, I would have still had 2 elixir in my hand, and that Inferno Dragon trade, which was -3, actually it was -5, it would have been -3 instead. I would have been able to go for a Tesla and a fireball on the bowler and balloon together, and so it just would have been a much better interaction for me. So yeah, I'm pretty upset. I'm probably going to go for an Xbow right now since I'm desperate. I feel like I do. Yeah, I do. So that's another sign of an Xbow player that made a mistake. They start getting desperate, and that was me in this case. Honestly, I have a lot of experience with Xbow, and I've learned to not get so desperate, even in situations like these, but honestly, I was probably pretty upset since it was only at 8 losses. Usually I don't lose before 15 or 20, and so this was like, I did not want to lose. I wanted an Xbow lock, and I wanted to win, and I made a mistake. I made a mistake into another mistake. I even went for Knight and Skeletons and Log on the Lumberjack. Look at that overcommitment. I mean, it takes out the Lumberjack, but the Baby Dragon's going to fully take out my Knight. It's raged up, full health, and I still have to go for at least an Electro Spirit on it because it's going to get so much damage. And I'm down literally 3 elixir, and it gets damage on my tower. And I am spamming emotes because I am sad. He goes for a bowler. And honestly, this game isn't worth analyzing anymore because I already lost. I mean, I made a bad mistake at the start, and I made another mistake following that mistake. In CRL, you hear the casters say a lot of the time, mistakes beget mistakes, which kind of means that mistakes lead into further mistakes to try and make up for the previous mistakes. And I feel like that's exactly true of what happened to me here. So that's my analysis on why I lost to LumberLoon Freeze. So the summary of it is I cycled log. And it seems weird that you'd get punished for cycling a log, but I actually didn't get punished for cycling a log. I got punished for going Xbow after I cycled a log. And so my mistake there was going for an offensive Xbow. And honestly, I feel like a lot of Xbow players that are beginners or intermediate players play a lot of bad offensive Xbows. And I'm not going to say what my skill level is because I don't really want to label it like expert or anything like that. But I did make a pretty novice mistake there going for that Xbow. And now I've learned from it, and so hopefully I never do that again, because you should really learn from your mistakes. But if you don't, that's usually what makes you lose consistently. And instead of getting frustrated at mistakes, try and look at them from a positive aspect. Try and learn from what you did and how you can improve it. Instead of getting angry that, oh, I lost, I'm angry, I'm going to break something. I don't know, that's not healthy. I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your life, though, but yeah, just try and look at your mistakes from a positive way. Anyway, this was another match against LumberLoon. Not really going to analyze the whole thing, but I believe I took a huge hit at the start as well. And so I just want to take a look at that, because might as well make this a mini LumberLoon analysis at this point. I do still have to edit this video. Unfortunately for me, it's pretty late, and I want to get it out to you guys tonight before I sleep. But yeah, he goes for bowler again, I go for Xbow again. So this is the second time this has happened, right? Where he goes for a bowler, I go for an Xbow. But I did split archers, and that is again the precursor to the situation. I split archers, I cycled 3 elixir worth, and so the bowler is going to be is going to basically take out my archer. And this archer can technically be defined as being worth 1.5 elixir. So technically this is a 1.5 elixir bowler. Sorry, a 3.5 elixir bowler, not 1.5 at all. So it's a cheap bowler. And this archer is going to support my Xbow, but I believe he goes for an electro dragon here. Yep, he does. And here's my mistake. I remember now. I fireballed it. And so I fireball it, and it was a bad fireball because archers can take out an electro dragon, especially if you fireball. But in this case, it was raged up, so I wasn't used to the fact that it was raged up. I wasn't used to the hit speed and everything. And I also misplaced my fireball. If you guys didn't realize, when you're fireballing something, you should try and consider the future knockback as well, and the future position of the troop you're fireballing. So in this case, Electro Dragon, I want to fireball it into my side of the arena so that it gets hit by the Princess Tower. I actually don't know if that's possible. Might not be. I haven't actually tested it. But with two archers here, they would have taken it out with a fireball. But since I only had one, I probably just shouldn't have fireballed here at all. I should have let the Xbow die. 100%, because I probably also needed fireball on this LumberLoon counter push. And here you can see I spent, so 1.5, 6, 4. So that is 11.5 elixir. If I did my math correctly, I hope I did, because it's pretty late. But that's a lot of elixir to spend against 5. 11.5 against 5. That's a minus 6.5 for me. Especially because of the fact that this bowler is only 3.5 elixir, because of it's taking out this archer as well. So technically I spent 13, if I say 3, 6, and 4. And my opponent spent 10, so he's up 3 elixir, in a nutshell. And he's going to go in here, obviously, because why wouldn't he? I just wasted my fireball. And actually, does he? I probably just surround this with the skeletons. Yep, I do, but then he goes for a lumberjack. And so if he didn't go for a lumberloon, I probably would have gotten away with this if he just let the bowler die. But he was smart to push into this. He really should have, and he did. So I go for a knight and a Tesla. And now I do not have a fireball for this. And so he goes for freeze. And I take a lot of damage. I mean, yeah, my tower's literally down to 365. Like, what was I thinking with that Xbow? And with actually the Xbow was fine. What was I thinking with that fireball? That was just insane. So do not do that, especially in single elixir, especially in rage mode. That would have probably been a fine play to make if the Xbow was going to be a game-winning Xbow to take the tower. But here I learned from my mistake earlier, actually, where I didn't just go for a Xbow getting desperate to get damage. I knew he had bowler and cycle, so I didn't want an Xbow. I split archers instead. Proud of myself for making that play at least, not making the same mistake twice in a row. Here I go for an Xbow now, because honestly I am desperate, but my opponent was leaking elixir, so I feel like this was fine. He goes for a bowler, Inferno Dragon. I go for knight to break the bowler, and I go for skeletons, and I get a huge lock for it. And I probably go for archers too. No, I don't. I should probably just fireball this, yeah. No, I go for archers instead, actually. And I was actually holding my fireball in case he went freeze, but my opponent did not have freeze and cycle, and I actually don't count cycle that much. I usually count cycle for cards that matter, like main counters to the Expo or main win conditions. But honestly, in this case, I was playing pretty casually, and so I wasn't really counting cycle. But that's why I was hovering fireball, because if he goes for freeze, you want to fireball it back. But I got a huge lock for that, actually. So that's kind of the micro you want to go for if you do have the Expo Archer, and that's the proper way to do it when there isn't a full health bowler opposite lane that you have to worry about. So I basically got back into this game, and I guess I'll show you guys how I defended as well, since a lot of people ask me for a LumberLoon analysis, and I might do one. This is not really a good candidate for one for like its own video, since it's rage mode, and I played pretty badly as well. But since it's in the video, and it's already been about 39 minutes, I guess, if anyone's still watching, thank you for still watching, but also you'd probably want to see this, so might as well go for Tesla and Knight and Fireball. So this is how you want to defend a LumberLoon push, right? You want to go for a Knight to block the Lumberjack, and you want to go for a Tesla. If you go for a Knight late, or if you let the Lumberjack lock onto your Tesla, it won't get as much value as you need, and you need to go for a Knight anyway. So might as well just go Knight before and protect the Tesla from the Lumberjack. And honestly, I think I misplaced my Tesla, also because it's rage mode, so it's kind of hard to play things perfectly if you're not prepared. Obviously, I wasn't, so that was just my reaction. I did misplace Tesla by 1 tile. It was a bit too close. If it was actually further away, the fireball would have knocked the balloon into this Princess Tower's range. And so I take 1 hit here, go for Electro Spirit to make sure I don't take 2. But it's honestly completely fine to take 1 hit because I'm not worried about this tower. I just need to keep both my towers alive. I can take 1.5k damage and I'll be fine. So I go for a defensive Xbow now, since he has bowler. Gonna set up full defense. I literally probably go for a Tesla as well now. Yep, and skeletons away. And so this is a setup that you want to use. I've talked about this before. You can watch my minor balloon analysis if you want. I made one a while ago, which is also a really hard counter, but I basically said that Xbows in this placement are important to avoid balloon bypassing your Xbow. So that's just why I do it in this placement, so they can't bypass it by pushing it with a baby dragon or inferno dragon, or in this case electro dragon, I guess. And my opponent is just leaking because he doesn't know what to do. I just have a ton of buildings on the field, and I guess this is where the rage comes into effect, because these Teslas are raged up, they're angry, they're getting a lot of value, and they're not decaying at the rate that a normal something else would decay at, like a troop, since they're buildings, and their decay time isn't affected by rage. That probably didn't even make any sense, but you got the point. Here I just fireball it, because fireball value. Here I actually really almost choked. My Electro Spirit was a bit too far from the Lumberjack, and man, I would have been upset if I choked this. Not enough to break something, but it would have been sad to lose at before 10 wins. But I go for archers, thankfully. I went for Electro Spirit and skeletons, but I recognized instantly in my head that it wasn't pulling the Lumberjack, so I also went archers. And I'm really glad I did, because my opponent went for a tornado here. Went for a knight as well, because there's 1 second left. Just defend and make sure you don't lose your tower. But yeah, almost choked there as well. It's rage mode as well. It's really easy to choke in rage mode. So don't feel bad if you mess up, because it's really high intensity, high stakes. But yeah, that's going to be the video, guys. Actually, it went a lot longer than I expected. 41 minutes long, and it did get later than I expected at night. But I'm really happy that I was able to get 5 nice wins, and also show that analysis for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it as well. I might make a LumberLoon analysis video later on, if I get a good match against it, but we'll see. If I do, I'm probably going to play more of the tournament in the next coming days, so if I do get higher up, I'll get like over 20 wins. If you are interested, I might make another video on it, but I did, again, like I said in the intro, I wanted to make this one kind of early on, because I wanted to make it before that tournament ends, while there's plenty of time, so you guys can watch. I mean, one of my friends, V, in my server, he was saying that he wanted to play after you watch me make a video on it, and honestly, I feel like that's fair, since, like I said before, you'd want to have kind of a template or analysis of how to play Xbow, or basically anything in this mode. You want to see what kind of decks are happening in the mode. And what I found was that there are a lot of spawners. I mean, I got spawner here, spawners here, and that terrible earthquake version here, which I was still able to beat, which I was really happy about. But there was also Bridgespam, which I guess is pretty scary. All this being raged up. You don't even need a Lumberjack since it's raged up. And it's just really scary, because Bridgespam, if you make a mistake, you're done. And it's easy to make mistakes in rage mode again. This was a really bad matchup. I feel bad for any Xbow player who plays against this. I guess I feel bad for myself, but I was still able to win, thankfully. And P.E.K.K.A is just a really nice matchup. I feel like even if he didn't disconnect at the start or whatever the heck happened there, I still would have won, since it's a really good matchup for me. But anyways, that's going to be the video, guys. Sorry I got kind of long and convoluted at the end. You're probably not watching this still. Most people aren't, but if you are, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. In any case, thank you all for watching the video. Take care, hope you have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.